PK52, the Saturday morning meeting. Hey, short and sweet today. I'm hearing from so many people that things are changing. And you know what? I think if you go back and look at some of the things I said over the last year that I told you they were going to change. The domestic manufacturers, I got a buddy that's running a Jeep Chrysler store, Dodge store, and he says right now that his Jeeps, which were in giant demand a year ago, he's got priced at $800 over net on his advertised price. He said most of the things they're waiting on factory money to make any kind of profit, and they got to hit their margins. And so it's almost giveaway time at the domestics again, and they start to pull the market because they're at a price point that other manufacturers can't match higher price cars. So, you know, we predicted this. We knew it was coming. There were two things that slam dunked us during COVID. One thing is we stopped making cars, you know, and that kind of hurt. When you have 10 million less cars being produced, that's going to shut down the car business. And then people were panicked about the condition COVID. And then the used cars started to sell, and then they started to slow down because more people were holding on to their cars, and it created a whole dynamic that we hadn't experienced before. But now we're getting plenty of inventory. We've got plenty of a mix out there. We got incoming cars coming in. Some dealerships are piled up with cars, having to buy a secondary lot to put their new cars on, and we knew this was coming. Didn't want to know it, but we knew it. And so what I want to do is I want to bulletproof my future. I want to sell myself. And I said this a couple of times this week as I did training for the Cincinnati region. You got a foundation, and everybody says you got to get back to the basics. I've heard that so many times, and I don't say anything to them. I let them say that. You need the basics to get into business. If I'm building a giant skyscraper, I've got to build the most solid foundation that any engineer can give me, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to start stacking onto that foundation. If the foundation is weak, then the building's going to crumble and I've lost everything. Well, the foundation is the basics of the car business. But thinking that you're going to be the top producer in your market area by only staying on the foundation, to think I'm going to rent all of these businesses in my skyscraper when all I've got is a concrete slab, it's ridiculous. You know, you'll have some good months, you'll have some bad months and everything, ebb and flow, but the basics are to build on. Build the first floor, then the second floor, then the third floor. And what I want to do is I want to build my future. I want to sign a long-term lease. I want an anchor to come in on my first floor and sign a 10-year lease. So I know I've got that money coming in for 10 years. The same thing in the car business, but people don't think about it. So watch this. I've got a never-ending group of people that come into my dealership every single day. Everybody that comes in for service. You know, people told me during COVID, Casey, we just can't find any cars to certify. There's no Toyotas out there. Well, why would you say that? Because everybody in the world knows you're making that up. So in 2021, we wrote 30,123,717 repair orders in the 1,238 Toyota stores. So there were over 30 million people that came in and paid for service. I'll tell you a secret about these people. They are not keeping that vehicle till the wheels fall off. They're not. Let me tell you what's going to happen. They're going to sell it. They're going to trade it. They're going to gift it. They're going to total loss it. Or they're going to die and their kids are going to take it or sell it. As long as that vehicle's running and it's a Toyota, they will not keep that forever, because there is no forever in humanity. You only have a certain amount of time on the earth. If that car is still running, somebody else gets the car. So that means that all 30 million of these vehicles that weren't total lost will be sold again. I think my mission would be to sell all of them. The crazy thing about selling one of these, and you get it back in trade, is they need something to go home in, so they'll buy another car from you. So I'm going to go back to service. I'm going to introduce myself, just walk back there and shake hands and ask them how they like service and why they found our dealership and why they choose to use our. I'm going to be a human. I'm just going to have a human conversation with them. And I'm going to go, look, you got a RAV4 right now. Let me just get down to the skinny here. We will pay all the money for RAV4s right now. It's the hottest vehicle in the market. Are you anywhere near trading or selling your RAV4? And the answer 99.9% of the time is going to be no. That answer's fine. I don't have a problem with that answer. I said, well, I understand that, but you understand why I asked, right? They go, oh, yeah. And I said, your RAV is really, really nice. You really take care of it, and I appreciate that in somebody. How much longer are you keeping it? I don't know, Casey, I'll keep it about 2 years. Okay, so that's a commitment right there to give me the car in 2 years. I don't know if you heard it. I heard it. So I find out what their grandkids' names are. I find out, why they bought, who they bought from, whatever. I just information about them, how many years they've been married, whatever. And then I write that all down. I go with my CRM and I flag my CRM to flag me in a year and a half. And when I call them back up, I say, listen, I know I'm a little early. You said I could have your RAV in 2 years, but I want to make sure if you're going to trade it, that I can source you the car you really want. And so it takes, right now in this market, it takes a little bit of time to get the perfect car. How are Bobby and Robert doing, your grandkids? And they're going like, oh, what? Well, how did I remember that? Well, I put it in the CRM. That's what it's for. If you're Harry Potter fans, that you take your wand and pull out a thought you don't need and put it in a pensive. That's the same thing. I remember that they've been married for 42 years. And so I can say, well, you're getting close to, it's 43 or 44 years now? They go, yeah, it's going to be 44 this year. So that's crazy. Crazy. Well, congratulations. Anyway, I was thinking about you and I wanted to give you a call. And you know what? Why would you not do that? And then, obviously during COVID, this started going backwards, right? 30,123,717, 2022, 31,027,877. Last year, 31,187,089. I'm looking at all of you right now and I'm telling you, these people will make this car available and they need another car. So the more you politic, the more hands you shake, the more people you meet, the more of a human you become. I mean, that's a really good, when you walk away, they go, that's a really good guy. That's a really good gal. That person obviously really cares about the people in this dealership. And when you have that kind of impact, then it's going to pay dividends in your future. You don't build a skyscraper in one day. You lay the foundation. Once the foundation's done, then you build it piece at a time. That's what I'm asking you to do. Everybody wants to sell a car today. Well, my secret of today is if you wake up a year from right now, that morning when you wake up, it's going to be today. If you want to buy a car in a year, I want to be the person you buy it from. Build your future. PK52, the Saturday Morning Meeting.